Wisp.
It almost worked.
Selecting top first.
I think that they were in a great position to win that series yesterday. I think a couple key mistakes in that game 3, and we could have seen Team Liquid eliminated very, very easily.
Lich, he's back.
First pick Lich.
Okay, you love Lich.
I love him.
Let's see what got overlooked.
You want to marry him.
Wisp and Earthshaker, both overlooked. A lot of teams up against the Lich will go towards heavy summon lineups, which can be directly countered by a second pick Earthshaker. So I'd be quite surprised to see TNC either to let Earthshaker go back to OG. I imagine they'll probably pick it for themselves with one of their 2 picks here, and then maybe look for Furion or some sort of hero that has summons or can play really fast in between lanes.
I think that Lich is a good hero, but I think first picking him is quite scary as well, because as we said, he's not a good hero to deal with summons, and Ench and those heroes are very good against him as well. So really gives the opportunity to the enemy team to. And here we see the team as well. It's like that hero that the VP picks, right? You see that Lich, who can't really move around a lot, and then you get the Maiden to be a little bit greedy.
Yeah, we saw VP pick that Maiden yesterday. I was not a huge fan of it, but it worked out really, really well. What we did see, they did do Crystal Maiden actually against the Lich, right? It was exactly supports, and CM was able to start in the jungle a little bit, but he was also able to move in between the mid and the safe lane and grab a couple kills. That game was a little weird for me just because I think the Beastmaster was feeding a lot, where I think he could have played better, and Crystal Maiden and Night Stalker would have gotten all those kills.
And at least now here for OG, they're getting the Earth Spirit, who's actually a hero that can kill Maiden in the jungle if he can find her. So it's not the Kanka and Lich opening that VP was up against, but...
And if you're playing Crystal Maiden and Earth Spirit rolls on you with an Orb of Venom,
you're dead.
Yeah, most times Crystal Maiden has a clarity going, so first off, that's canceled. And you know, 140 mana for your freeze, and maybe you have 1, definitely don't have 2.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, I'm nearly certain Crystal Maiden is the slowest hero in the game, but also by a significant margin, right?
Treant Protector's pretty slow too. My 2 favorite heroes. Ice Frog, please.
One time.
I think Sand King got picked over Shaker because it's more flexible. I think they want to put Tim's on a more aggressive hero a lot of times. Although we did see them pick Naga a lot, I still think they do better when he's on the Slardar ES Sand King. Or Slardar Earth Spirit and Sand King rather.
5 seconds remaining.
Brew ban. I think they're going to pick a core that gets countered by Brew.
I think it's more about S4 that he's one of the best Brew players.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I think OG enabling S4 is a really good strategy for them. We saw the game where he's playing Panda. He got the 11-minute Blink Dagger or something.
Oh, he dominated start to finish in that game.
S4 is the kind of player who he knows how to call his initiations and he knows how to take smart fights. So having him kind of lead the direction of your team once he has that Blink Dagger is a really good spot to be in.
And that is also why it's quite hard to play against OG, because we have S4 and Ana who you don't really want to give a good game in the beginning of the game. But then you also have No-Tail who's very active, so it's very hard to shut all of them down.
Morphling ban.
Yeah, I mean, Ake, you mentioned earlier, Lich plus Morphling in the mid lane is an excellent way to circumvent the weaknesses of Morphling in the early game.
And it's also a way then for Ana to play a position 1 hero in the mid lane, and for them to make sure that he has a good game. So it's a very good ban from TNC.
Ben, you play a lot of carry, right?
Mm-hmm.
When somebody bans Morphling, what is something that you would want to play without a Morphling in the game? They just banned out the Naga, and Morphling's often great against heroes that build Radiance because you can replicate them and then have a Radiance on your side.
I think it's more so for the mid lane matchup. They know they can't shut down the mid lane because it's a Lich.
Oh, okay.
So
they're eliminating one of the hard carries that could present them problems.
Right, that could pretty much has a very easy early game because of the Lich.
Morphling's really good versus CM and Sand King. Any stuns are just no problem at all for Morphling because he can just morph strength and survive. Also, he builds Lincoln Sphere, which is great versus Sand King.
So there's still a ton of good heroes out there that we haven't seen banned at all. I think Punk is still in the pool. Could be really good for S4 here. Hasn't been addressed because we see a lot of unusual bans here. Could be Chaos Knight, which OG has been going for a lot. No Shaker in the pool, and Shaker still hasn't been picked or banned.
Yeah, that's surprising to me.
I'm not the biggest fan of CK because they have the Sanking Stun and Crystal Maiden AoE if you can get the ultimate off to kill off the CK illusions. So
it's tough versus CK, but certainly CM is not the tankiest hero.
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, we've seen several Chaos Knight games on the main stage, and he gets kills and gets farm, feels unstoppable, and if he doesn't even feel like he's in the game.
No-Tail's got one of the better senses for playing that hero, I think. We saw the CK yesterday really just roam around early and not get a lot done, but I think No-Tail's got a nice balance of being ready to fight, also moving to create fights.
There's also the Void DP combo, too, that's still open up for OG.
10 seconds remaining.
Do they play Void on the safe lane then, or?
Yeah.
I think maybe Darkseer is a way for them to make sure that OG needs to help No-Tail as well. Because if they leave No-Tail against the Darkseer, then usually Darkseer farms a lot and it's very hard to take the mid game when he gets his mech on Darkseer. But now they probably want to get a support there to help him out, and the Earth Spirit, he doesn't really want to be there.
He definitely doesn't want to be there. They probably want to pick somebody that can solo up against this Darkseer in lane. First thoughts, I think possibly Anti-Mage for OG could be an option.
Looking at the TNC lineup, I feel like their current strengths.
Team fights.
Lots and lots of team fight. Good disables. Darkseer, no disables, but massive amount of team fight.
Set him up for the Sanking Stun, the vacuum to Sanking Stun, and Darkseer, he usually builds mech and he can go pipe as well, so that really gives him a lot of magic resistance and health from the mechanism. So
Darkseer does a great job of enabling melee cores to be more effective in the early game with Ion Shell and Surge. So in these next two picks from TNC, we'll most likely see either one or two melee heroes to bolster his strengths, which melee heroes don't actually match up that well versus Lich and Earth Spirit because of the proximity of how their spells work. Lots of AoE, and the closer people are together, the more damage they're capable of doing. Necrophos as well, with his aura especially, constantly on melee heroes throughout team fights.
and there we have the hero that we were talking about, that they can put on No-Tail that actually can solo against Darkseer. That's quite well.
They can solo for Darkseer?
Yeah, I think so. He can sustain, and
I haven't played a lot of the new Necrophos, so interesting.
the only problem is if Sanking drives by and gets an Ion Shell, they're probably going to be ready with TP on Earth Spirit to help.
Luna. Second appearance here on the main stage.
Look at the melee core I predicted, just popping right up right away. I'm on top of it, huh?
In your defense, Luna is the meleeest ranged hero in the game.
Yeah, people like to go melee range on Luna, right? So ideally the Ion Shell should just work for itself.
She's
Either way, when you're right, Peter.
Yeah.
I think there's two ways to deal with the Necrophos.
I'm right.
As a carry, you can either pick a Diffusal hero, or you can pick a carry that does a ton of magic damage, and Luna fits in the latter position. I think we saw it picked versus Liquid, I think, was it?
Yeah, Team Secret snatched up Luna in the final game.
And it destroyed the Necrophos. They, as soon as he popped the Ghost Dragon, bomb him with the clips.
I'd love to see OG head towards some Black King Bar heroes that built that item pretty naturally here. All four of these heroes definitely struggle against that item. Luna, a very magic-based damage carry for the early game until she gets Manta and the Butterfly.
TNC is also getting a lot of more team fight here with Luna, of course, with her ultimate, but also the aura, the lunar blessing that makes them being able to take down towers faster.
Yeah, Luna can be that frontliner for the team. Go ahead to tower. What they don't have is any kind of save to back it up.
Centaur for OG.
Alternatively to BKB heroes, they can build pipe wielders. Centaur, I think, builds hood / pipe every single game. Very, very good versus their lineup. And also, we saw it paired up a lot, Centaur Warrunner versus the Luna matchup. And it's actually very problematic for the Luna. Just like spam double edge on her. CM maybe not going to be in lane that much.
5 seconds
You're not
remaining.
really in danger of dying a clip because of the hood.
I want to ask the same question that I asked earlier, but for OG. How would you describe this lineup, its strengths right now?
Team fight and laning prowess. I think that they're set up to have a better early game with the Lich, and they'll probably take a decent early game advantage. I imagine Centaur will probably go hood first, or maybe even rush a blink, and we'll start looking for activity on the map. Darkseer, being the 3 position, is most likely going to be farming quite a bit more than the Sand King, who is most likely slotted as the 4. So we can expect an earlier Blink Dagger from OG and have them begin initiating fights, and TNC might be on the back foot until the 4 position Sand King catches up.
I mean, especially with the Earth Spirit, that wherever there's any weakness, he can bomb in so easily, transitioning into Centaur and the Blink Dagger.
It feels like OG wants to kind of take the fight a bit back and forth. Like they have the center to be able to run out when Luna is coming in with their ultimate, and maybe they use the vacuum and wall on Darkseer.
Do you think we can expect a aggro trialing from TNC?
Could be. How is Darkseer against Centaur? It's quite even.
It seems fine.
If
Probably
they,
better for Darkseer.
Yeah, I think a walk.
yeah, they should just block the hard camp.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, the Darkseer is just going to push out the wave and pull the hard camp and
Talk
just
about
farm
that. Can you explain that?
Hmm?
Can you explain that for everyone who doesn't know what you're talking about?
That the Darkseer puts iron shells on the wave and he pushes it out. So
I was talking about the ward.
oh, the ward. He puts the the centaur is gonna bring a ward down to the bottom lane in case he's like against the Darkseer, and he blocks the hard camp with the ward so it doesn't spawn. So
Yeah. The Darkseer pushes out the wave with Iron Shell, and then to take it to win the lane, to beat Centaur, he denies all of his creeps to the neutral hard camp there. So if Centaur wards that, then those creeps won't spawn, and that opportunity for him to, or for Darkseer to get ahead won't be there.
And here comes the Cuckoo, Queen of Pain.
Ana on Invoker, gonna be versus Cuckoo on Queen of Pain. The draft is complete. Will TNC be able to let Luna get the farm needed to conquer in the end game, or will OG's building towards supporting Ana give them a victory here in game one? Let's head down to the casters to get this match underway.
It's been a year, Lumi, yet it feels like this could be deja vu. In 2016, OG was shocked when TNC took them down 2-0 in a similar circumstance in the lower bracket, I believe in this exact same round, to eliminate them from the International. Only 5 players from that match remain heading into this tournament. The lineups have changed, perhaps the styles have changed. Do you think history will repeat itself?
I don't know, but we're about to find out. I think it's always very
Oh,
dangerous.
come on, you've got to give me better than that.
Okay, well, I was trying to get into it as you brutally cut me off. But I think it's very dangerous to assume that, hey, it's the same matchup. It's going to be TNC taking it again. But I think last year TNC in this position came in as a team that didn't expect to go too far. They were playing as if there's nothing to lose, whereas on the other side, OG, they're TI, right?
They started upper bracket, they got shocked by
Exactly.
NewBee, then they got bounced out.
Right, so I think mentality-wise, it's very different this year around. And coming in here, you could make the argument that TNC is supposed to be in the upper bracket still. They're supposed to be doing a lot better. They represent...
I mean, I don't know. I'm a little worried about OG. They're already asking for suggestions from the viewers. What items do they want?
Well, for Fly, he buys nothing. He buys wards, maybe has one GG branch. He's going to buy Tango and keep sharing with his ally.
It's 2 very different ways of asking that same question, right?
Yeah.
Jarex is like, well, which of these amazing like 4 position items that can change the game should I get? Fly's like, can I get boots? Please?
Well, the good thing for Lich is that you do have the high natural movement speed, so you don't maybe need the boots till a little bit later.
So I think coming into this tournament, to expand on your point, you were talking about TNC, a very different mindset where that core that got them, the big upset last year has stuck together. 3 of their players remain with a new captain, but similar formula, another North American player being imported in to hopefully lead the team to greatness like Demon did last year. So you look at this matchup, they start in the upper bracket. It looked like versus LFY were just outmatched. What is kind of their trajectory heading into this game?
So I think they were outmatched by Alpha because it wasn't the same TNC that did their bread and butter, right? They came into this tournament leading C with their own particular playstyle, which is, hey, we're going to Bat Rider Silencer you. This lineup that involves a lot of precise team fight coordination. And I'm glad to see them that they're doing this again. Like yesterday, they picked Broodmother, which is not a Cuckoo hero. They picked Alchemist, which Cuckoo does play, but only once in the last 6 months. These are not comfort picks for TNC that we saw yesterday. Today, however, this is all TNC special. We're going to see the beauty that is the Vacuum Burrow Strike. Tims and Sam H. I mean, I know they show Universe and Zai, like you called it the love story. This is the C love story. Like Sam H and Tims, they're mind linked when it comes to initiation. We're going to see some crazy combination for them.
All right, well, save the kissing until after the victory, TNC. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Cuckoo also playing one of his best hero. We'll see if he's going to be effective. He's only 50% in this tournament so far with the Queen of Pain, but this is probably his namesake hero. So this is a very good look for TNC. They're playing their strategy. They're playing with the comfort picks, and I think they're going to bring it to OG.
All right, the teams entering the fields of Dota. Game 1 of an elimination showdown begins now. So we'll see how the lane's set up here, Lumi. Looks like Sam H is going to be heading To the off lane is the Darkseer, so TNC looking very standard in their setup. S4 going off lane on the Centaur. Well, as I say that, it seems like NoTel might be heading that way. It does even have a TP scroll, so it looks like for OG that they really want a particular laning configuration. Are they afraid of aggression here?
I think, as the panel suggested, they want to line up the Necro versus the Darkseer. It's a decent lineup. As the smoke comes, and Jerax, the perfect position, breaks the smoke in the high ground. And honestly, not too good of an initiation, as he just throws some stones around.
Great minds thinking alike here. Cuckoo now going to try to trade out with Jerax a little bit. They do assume position to snag that bounty rune.
This is really big.
At the very least, they probably can get the bounty rune edge if they commit, but no, TNC are going to back away. So the smoke expended, a lot of damage done early. This Queen of Pain.
And more importantly, you force Queen of Pain to take Blink, so that's a lot of a harass that Ana doesn't have to deal with in the Shadow Strike. So
yeah, he does start with a lot of plus stats here, so only already ate one of the 2 pulled tangos. He's going to be a bit light on regen in this middle lane.
I mean, that might seem like a small thing, but Jerax's move to break the smoke, force Blink on Queen of Pain, just gave Ana the lane that, like, for the first minute and a half, and he has got the better block, so.
And to make matters even better for OG, I believe they may have just seen this ward dropped up towards the top side, as Jerax had previously warded that exact same cliff, so they might even get a D-ward as well to start this laning stage. These are all little things. They don't directly translate into gold on the board, at least not in a major way, but indirectly can make a huge difference in the next 5-6 minutes. But top lane, this could make a direct impact. Burrow Strike coming through, looking for the first blood. S4 will go down. TNC grabbing that kill early.
LD, this is giving me the same deja vu. LGD ran a offlane Beastmaster and Lich yesterday combination. And remember what happened? It was Beastmaster moving too forward before the Lich got Frost Armor. Same story here. If you're playing at the offensive Lich lane, you definitely want to make sure that you hold back for a while and make sure you get level 2 on both of your heroes before you venture forward. Although with that said, OG does have the beneficial bottom lane, getting the matchup that they want, the Necrophos versus the Darkseer.
We are going to see Fly go for that D-ward now and eats the Dire Ward. So OG, I mean, they already had the ward there, so they should really have the ability to dodge these ganks with full vision supremacy in the top lane for now, but a bit of a sloppy start gets them TNC roll lane, and we'll see. Meanwhile, this Necro versus Darkseer lane, is it, so you consider it quite advantage for the Necrophos?
It's not too advantage. I mean, normally when you pick Darkseer, you pick him for the mid-game team fight, but also for the lane dominance, and he's not getting that part. Like, he is not going to be able to dominate NoTel, so in that sense, it's a small draft win for NoTel, and he's also going to be able to farm for a big item should he choose to do so. Because I don't think Sam H is going to be able to deny any of his farm.
Despite the D-ward, Tim's still playing aggressive here on the north side of the map. He is going to try and snag a bounty rune, does so. So roaming constantly. But his movement's largely being tracked. Not sure if they'll identify that he's moving towards mid now.
Bottom lane, NoTel.
In danger. Necrophos staying alive for now. Doesn't have that point in the Ghost Shroud just yet.
Yeah. I mean, that might look like it was like pretty good turn event for Sam H, but honestly, with the fact that NoTel could just regen off of last hits, I don't think he's going to be too worried about how the lane's going.
Already back to full HP. Just giving Sam H some poke damage where he can, but top lane again, they make their move, and they might actually get the jump here in S4. Lucent Beam sets it up, Burrow Strike to follow. Do they have the damage to bring him down? Tries.
Yes, they do.
Tries to get some out before he falls. A second death for the offlane Centaur.
Very curious skill point for Lich to actually go for the Nova here instead of the Frost Armor, or rather Ice Armor.
So the downside of this ward, I guess, is also I think Tim's took this northern approach, which is just out of vision of that OG ward. They may not have expected that rotation. Nice adjustment there.
They should have seen him walking past the ward, but I guess they were just looking elsewhere. But I think these lanes should be going a little bit better for OG, but this is no surprise for any TNC fans. Sometimes they just win from the laning stage due to the raw mechanical skill that the player has. Cuckoo, I think, one of the best players in the mid lane for NC. Like, bar none. He's so good.
And they gave him the Quappa here that can excel, and the Lich so far has just been trying to support that Centaur in the top lane. It was mentioned, and I think it really has been true for OG, that so often Ana gets the priority with support, with the hero picks, with the amount of farm he's given. They haven't really offered him much in the mid lane, just that early support from the Earth Spirit, but he's largely been off the lane, rotating around early here. And as a result, Cuckoo has been able to get the edge on Ana CS-wise, though Ana starts to equalize it now. They are making their moves with Tims. Again, pursuing Fly, trying to force him back, hits that burrow.
They got the blink.
Cuckoo can come in for this, blinking forward, scream, one hit! Just gets him, the DD rune from Tims working its magic. TNC 3 in a row. This Sand King, the gift that just keeps on giving.
What we're going to see throughout this series is Cuckoo's understanding of the tiniest lines.
He's going for number 4. No radiant vision of this movement. Tims has managed to find just that one sliver of fog, and he wraps around onto No-Tail. No-Tail's in trouble, does have the Ghost Shroud to try and keep him alive a bit longer. The auto attacks, too much. He gets the heal off. They're going to have another burrow in 5. Surge is available, driving Tims deeper. In comes the Earth Spirit. They need that burrow. They get it too, but the trade might be. Jarek's taking 1. Can he get 2? Rolling forward, a bit off the mark on Sam H, who now turns, wants to fight. Gonna let him go. So another core kill and another successful rotation. Feels like that puppy game from yesterday on the Spirit Breaker, where every single gank paid off.
Yeah. I'm very surprised that Necrophos doesn't have a magic stick. He now responds and buys one, but had he had a magic wand and he Ghost Shroud and just popped the wand, he would have been at full HP. You know that Darkseer is going to be spamming a lot of spells in lane, so he could have been accruing a lot of wand charges. So maybe just a small oversight, but definitely had to pay for it.
I mean, it also could be Sam H just staying far away from him when he's using the Ion Shell. So.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had the wand for a while, but yeah.
Unless I just didn't see the wand. That's my apology.
No, he did have it, but
Okay.
he just never got that many charges. So I think a lot of it is credit to Sam H being smart about when he uses his spell.
Standing in fog before using the Iron Shells.
Top lane, the
S4.
pursuit on S4. But again, just keep your eyes on Tims, because he is constantly trying to pressure. This time, though, Jarex standing at the shrine is going to be able to bully him away. So, rolling forward, even wants to commit, try to contest that bounty room, but Tims grabs it again.
That Orb of Venom, though, doing a number on Tim, is going to force him
He
away.
may have to burrow away here. Now, Cuckoo coming in for support. So, overall laning stage now with 4 kills to their name, TNC. They've accrued a decent gold advantage. Experience, though, still dead even. All things considered, Lumi, how do you feel each team has done at accomplishing their respective objectives in this early laning stage?
I think TNC is doing a lot better than OG. OG has the Lich advantage, so you should be ahead in lane. They have the Necrophos versus Darkseer matchup, but what pans out happening is that TNC is winning at least 2 out of 3 lanes. You can make the argument that they're winning all of the lanes.
Smoking up, TNC do move over towards mid, while meanwhile in the top lane, Raven's in trouble, has the teleport scroll, but a stun from S4 could do him in. He's got decent move speed with the slow coming through from the Lich. Sunstrike to follow. He will go down, even pop the Fairy Fire, but mid lane, look at mid. Eyes on Ana, who's been corralled by Cuckoo. They'll take him down. No-Tail even rotating, does have the Reaper's Sight. Isn't enough damage though, not quite. 1437 skates away, now that punishment for No-Tail, and TNC get away with all 3. A 2-for-1 around the map, and they might get more. Cuckoo, he's got the level 4 screen here. He can go on Jarex. He will do so. It's a triple for Cuckoo.
Blocks the row while doing so. He might be in a little bit of trouble under the tower. Fly trying to body block him. He has Nova looking to, well, Cuckoo.
He's a little bit short on the mana here. The Blink's cooling
Blink,
down.
1 second. Blink, he's out.
And with the Sunstrike already expended, they won't have one in time. Cuckoo outplaying OG.
This is where Cuckoo is at his best, walking that fine line, knowing when to go in, knowing what spells to use when you only have like 150 mana and making it work. This is Cuckoo. Like, this is the one game you know he's playing well, for sure.
Meanwhile, Sam H taking advantage of that movement from No-Tail, does drag the creeps off and do a little bit of jungling here, get that extra bonus experience. Definitely one of the benefits of a Darkseer who's left unchecked against the solo here. He could be more greedy in the jungle and get away with it. But look at this, TNC now making a move towards top, smoked up. Will this next gank also be successful? OG are anticipating it perhaps. They're not going on Raven. No, they're gonna try now. Rolling boulder forward commitment with the Stampede. Follow up, he doesn't have Eclipse yet, but now TNC want the turnaround play. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be happening. The Sand King of Tims has to back away.
TNC wanted
Bottom lane onto No-Tail. The dive from Cuckoo has the Ghost Shroud to try and keep him in fighting shape. The crossbow not available. Reaper Sight with a silence. He dodges the boulder though, bottling up. See ya. Cuckoo finally dealt with. OG certainly needed that.
Yeah, very good movement for OG, setting up the kill up top and then defending their core from a kill on the bottom. Very nicely done. What TNC wanted to do is rotate their support to the Luna as soon as she picks up that level 6 and set up an Eclipse kill. But I think OG is just one step faster, one step ahead.
And with that Quap rotation, it does free up Ana in the middle lane. He's been doing a lot of chip damage. And now it's becoming quite substantial structural damage. This tower's down to 400 HP. Likely goes down the next time that someone leaves the lane unchecked. Still, eyes on Tims for TNC. Had a great start in the lanes. Lumi already 600 gold banked. With the Tranquils, the brain drops up as well. So the Blink Dagger is next on his agenda. 1 or 2 kills could just set that ball rolling.
Yeah, a lot of teams at this moment in time, they would just give a lane to Sanking to basically let him get that blink, but it looks like they want to have Tims on the map still to make sure that he's applying pressure. Looks like he will be able to get the tier 1 tower up top.
Will he though? OG want to contest this. They smoke in with Jerax and look to take a fight, but Tim's burrowing out. There is a stampede available. Jukes away, dodges that boulder smash. Still the roll forward, still the commitment with the silence coming through. Sunstrike as well. OG make the Scorpion explode. Crucial kill for them if they continue to slow down Tim.
Mid lane, Queen of Pain blinks in, applying a ton of pressure onto Ana, but with a 14 wand, it's going to be okay.
So TNC, fantastic start to the lanes. They got tons of kills, lots of pressure, killed off Ana, slowed him down a lot. But what's next for them now? Do they need to calm down, take a step back and farm? Should they ramp up the pressure? What's the game plan for TNC moving forward?
Well, kill Ana, that's game plan number 1 here as Ghost Swap is forced out. Sonic Wave is available, but Cuckoo will let him go for now.
Good discipline there by Cuckoo. That ult is a long cooldown, especially you're not going to get the Aghanim Scepter upgrade, which we don't see too much nowadays.
So to answer your question, I think there's going to be a couple of peak timings coming out from TNC. When you combine the mech finishing on the Darkseer as well as the blink pickup on the Sanking, TNC could definitely gonna go for a big fight. Mid lane, hold that thought here as we're going to see it go. Queen of Pain, perfect chain sank from OG, and they blow up Cuckoo.
That early aggression from Cuckoo now being answered back. But TNC make their move. First time the Luna's going to get active on the board. Heads towards the bottom side. They'd love to dive out No-Tail. They've got tons of nuke damage here. Ghost Shroud will not save you if TNC can keep the vision. They try for the wraparound here. Still no vision this rotation, but No-Tail realizes something's not right.
TP's out.
He TP's to join his team. That might mean the tower's forfeit, but it should also mean that they don't give up any kills.
Yep.
So instead, congregate and start chipping down this tier 1.
This is a very
OG
standard
do not want to fight.
standard gank timing from a Luna team. We saw that out of MP and Team Secret yesterday. As soon as she hits level 6, level 7, you should expect a smoke gank. And like you said, they do get the tower, but it should be a kill and then a tower. So TNC losing out a little bit there with that smoke rotation.
Big dive in from Cuckoo again, trying to force out the TPs. If he gets 1, make it 2. Looks like the Lich will complete. And in the jungle, 1437, barely running by Jerax, who quickly rolls away. So OG, as you mentioned, mirroring the movements. It's a slow push top. You almost wonder, do TNC come back and try and defend? But
They're happy pushing a tier 2 bottom right now.
they would rather split push instead.
Yeah.
They're also trying to pincer. Tims and Cuckoo moving in.
Look at how
The flank,
aggressive.
but Jerax is there on the high ground. Tims is going to see him almost at the same time, but not quite. The silence comes out. Now the nuke from the Lich. He's got a burrow directly on top of himself, only hitting 1 as well, and now smashed again. The roll forward nets them another kill. TNC disengage. OG just keep on getting the jump.
Top tower has fallen.
They have crawled completely back into this game. Now that tower dropping in the top lane. No-Tail, the hood complete. Very heavy magic damage for TNC. It was something the panel mentioned 3-4 picks in, and even this last pick
Oh, No-Tail.
only continued that agenda.
Eclipse coming out from the side. They blow up him very easily, and now they're on the chase. Vacuum is available. Vacuum back. No Burrow Strike to connect that. Sankey nowhere near in this fight. Queen of Pain. It's the combo. Nice silence from Jerax. Complete chain stun.
You talked about how good TNC are at hitting those intricate combos, but OG, they've been the ones really delivering in that department over the last couple minutes.
Yeah, what's really lacking from TNC is just the raw power of stuns, right? They have 1 Burrow Strike as an AoE disable, and that's going to be the best combo spell with the Vacuum.
They need that blink. He's going to take some time and farm it up now. Vacuum is level 4 at SAM8, so once he gets it, feels like their team fight should ramp up a lot. You also got a mech nearly completed, so that appears to be the timing for TNC. Get those items. You know, the Luna will try to farm towards late game as she completes her Mask of Madness relatively soon, but You're really looking for that big AoE teamfight combo.
Yep. Who could might die here?
Blinks out just in the nick of time.
Jirax not here for once. So I do want to mention that yes, you know, the blink dagger timing on Sand King is important. The mech timing is important, but the counterplay from OG is going to be that Centaur ultimate, right? Like, if the Sand King Burrow Strike is expended, there is really no way that you stop Stampede from engaging or disengaging. So it's very important. Well, I mean, Frostbite stops one, but when the whole team runs at you.
No, you're definitely right. Stampede is great against TNC. They they have to chain everything in a very small window.
Basically, TNC has to win the team fight during Vacuum Burrow Strike. If they don't win it, then OG has the option to win or turn.
Cuckoo, for once, is getting the vision here. A dire scan reveals nobody is top, and they're going to see Jirax. Also, Ana out in the trees. They might even go for this Invoker. If he's still sticking around, that would be the much juicier kill. Ana just walking right by, and actually dodges away. It is nighttime.
I mean, they have a ward though, right? Shouldn't they have?
They're afraid of what lurks behind, it seems.
You know, this is
no quap ult for 5 seconds.
This is the third Invis rune that Cuckoo has picked up, but hasn't really converted them into too many kills.
Yeah, where he was absolutely dominating that middle lane early, he's now 30 CS down. Net worth is slipping as well. And that is the question. Do you want to try and just engage in this farm war without having a pretty timely Midas? The Ags is over halfway complete. Actually, 3/4 complete.
OG gonna show on the mid. Quick kill here. And they're going to transition to pushing that tower. I mean, if...
Ana, top lane, big dive, but immediate rotation comes in, hits the 2-hero tornado, and now look for the turn. Rolling forward, Jirax is going to miss on his opening, but they don't want to commit too much just for an Earth Spirit. Now comes the vacuum, now comes the combo, the quad ult, he gets silenced! Jirax denies him. Cuckoo can't get his ult up. He blinks up, he scatters back. They're going to lose 3 in the end with that Crystal Maiden mid, and they don't even get a kill. The teamwork from OG, keeping the dream alive.
Raven gonna try to get the best thing out of a Bass situation. Gets the tier 2. Had he had a tier 1 to port 2, maybe he could have joined with a teleport scroll and an Eclipse, but that team fight looked over pretty fast. Just shows you the power of Stampede against TNC's draft.
And the power of the Earth Spear with the silence as they now set up on the bottom lane. Luna not gonna quite get clipped by the Sunstrike, but the threat is there. Take another look at this engagement.
It is so important for TNC to get things done during the short stun duration of that Burrow Strike. And if you don't, man, look at that Jirax silence and stun.
Quap was mid-cast animation on the level 2 Sonic Wave there when she got first Boulder Smashed and then silenced. Narrowly dodging what could have been a catastrophe for OG.
It's going to be a long while until TNC will be able to fight with their Luna. Luna, despite how farmed she is, still needs the BKB, still needs to finish the Manta before she could really stand in the front line against this kind of dangerous nuking combination of OG. But let's talk about the Luna later. I think the more important timing is the Darkseer mech plus the Blink Burrow Strike. And TNC is almost there. Just needs 150 gold on Tims. And we're going to definitely see a smoke from TNC.
And they'll need this 4-hero group up to get something done. Perhaps Raven will join them, but one of the issues that we've seen with Luna is that she just needs so much farm after that laning stage to be a high-impact carry. She's very squishy. She's got low attack range. Sure, the Glades can bounce fairly far, but she often finds herself in the middle of fights out of position and dying until she gets, say, the BKB, the Manta, maybe a butterfly worked in there somewhere, like a lot of big expensive items. So,
and because her ally doesn't have anything like 4 staffs and you're playing against Stampede,
they don't have a Dazzle, they don't have an Oracle, they have no save.
It makes positioning that much harder. TNC just essentially has to outplay OG, and
you're up against the Centaur. So it does feel like the Luna is very much just a supporting cast member until that 30 to 40 minute mark when the farm finally kicks in, but that also kind of plays into Ana's wheelhouse as the Invoker. Not to mention the late game Necrophos, the Centaur Ags. These are not things to sneeze at if you're TNC. So it kind of goes full circle, and I do feel like it is all about this mid-game timing that we keep on harping on. With the Darkseer level 4 vacuum, the mech online, the Blink Dagger on Sand King, can TNC find those incredible team fights?
I mean, just look at how afraid TNC is. If you want to go to Dire Vision, they have 2 wards in the enemy jungle, but you just don't see any members of OG. Even with the Blink Dagger, it looks like they just got a glimpse of the Earth Spirit placing a ward. Even with the Blink Dagger, they don't feel kind of aggressive enough. And I think they might be missing one of their peak timing right now.
Well, they're going to try to make something happen here. Perhaps on Jerax. They see him roaming around on their side of the river. They hesitate for a long time, assuming almost that he has his whole team there.
Yeah.
But in fact,
It's just Jerax.
it's just Jerax. OG are farming.
Yeah, comparing to what OG's doing, you know, TNC's grouped up as 4, holding hands, being afraid, and OG's spreading out. They're letting that Midas on Invoker kicking in. Their Necro's doing well. Same thing with that. Centaur. So
Those feel like OG are a bit in their heads after the last few ganks that backfired. And meanwhile, Ana just calmly continuing his own farm progression. The Boots of Travel complete, the Ag's already out. And now the BKB, the next crucial item for him. Once he gets this BKB, Lumi, they already have a pipe on the Necrophos. They're building another hood and potentially a double pipe here on OG as S4 completes that hood.
yeah, pipe.
It's all magic damage until this Luna gets big. Yeah, the pure damage Queen of Pain ult, that's not enough on its own.
For sure. And, you know, I keep saying it's so important for TNC to win the team fight fast. You know, you have Vacuum, you have Burrow Strike, you got to win it then. The double pipe's going to be effectively preventing that from happening. And once they survive that initial engagement, Stampede's going to just take over the fight. So I think OG's itemizing perfectly. They are outplaying TNC in terms of the map game. TNC is just so scared. And, you know, if this game just goes at the exact same pace like it's going now, OG's going to win the late game for sure.
And you know TNC feel a little pressure to make a move. That's why they went for these mid-game items. That's, you know, part of why they drafted the way they did is they wanted to be on the offense right now. But it's actually OG making those plays. Rolling forward, Jerax tries to start. Won't see an opening. TNC back away in time. The ward perhaps assisting them at a critical moment.
Oh, I think they might be waiting for yet another timing. Samage is about to pick up his Blink Dagger, so maybe that's what they're going for. Blink Vacuum, Blink Burrow Strike, and win right there and there. So yeah, they get the Blink and they go immediately. This has to work.
It's got to be perfect, but OG, they might have the superior position here, lurking in the trees. They do back away, but no more ward for the Dire, so they won't actually see them backing out.
This Radiant War saw that there is a Darkseer Blink, so OG's got the full information.
Freshly planted down from the safe confines of the tree line. Now TNC moving in, trying to bring this tower down. There is a cliff available. Feels like OG want to contest, judging by their positioning. S4 marching forward, no Dire vision up that hill. Very dangerous to just group up as 5. Could well get caught by S4. If you don't go, you just let OG farm. Ana will continue to pull ahead.
Yeah, I think TNC is going to lose out on the economy game. I mean, Luna is one of the best late game hyper carries, so let's not count them out completely. And they do have some amazing team fight.
They haven't really been trying to play that game, right? Like Luna has not. I haven't seen too many ancient stacks. They're not really prioritizing the Luna's farm. The early roaming was all about kills for Tims. So I agree with you. She is one of those heroes. It just doesn't seem to be a big part of the TNC approach to this game.
Sunstrike is going to check the Roche.
And a Dire scan will hit pay dirt. This could be the moment for TNC.
But Queen is mid. Queen revealed herself mid, so that's that big burst
pushing
damage.
out the wave, but the rest of the team is streaming towards bottom. They've got the tier 1 tower here. Quap should be able to catch up. And on the high ground, it's Jerax again. He rolls away. He just keeps on giving. TNC pursue, but it's a fool's errand. He's out of there, it seems. Maybe Cuckoo. Oh, he finds him. The Yule Scepter's there. Double damage available. Dodge away from the Boulder Smash.
Silence.
And they corral him, this pesky Earth Spirit. Meanwhile, reinforcements are arriving. They do have a Stampede ready, but they're not going to see an open use. It's still S4 marching in. He finds Cuckoo. There's going to stop. The back to interrupt, but the Necro ult already came out. There was no Sand King stun. Tim's had it on cooldown. TNC are flabbergasted as OG again get the jump, get the kill. And again, Lumi, it's Jerax. It started at the level 1 smoke. It continues now. The silence in the previous team fight, every big engagement is being won one way or another by this Earth Spirit.
The sense of pressure is really kind of poking into TNC. I mean, when you do a nighttime smoke gank and it breaks, when you're on the low ground like that, you have no vision in the enemy jungle. They were just chasing for kill. They just feel like they had to get something done, and they chase a little bit too deep.
Setting up on Raven.
Doesn't have the BKB finish yet, so really can't sit in the front.
All the while, Ana just split pushing to his heart's content. He's basically got the BKB now. that little skirmish, he was up about 2K in the Luna, now he's up almost 4K as he continues to pound into this tier 2. JerX setting up for the next potential pick-off here. He's on the high ground. He's got the vision of that Sand King. Tims needs to back away, and the tower will fall. BKB is ready if Ana wants it, but he changes plans, now going for the Lincoln Sphere instead. Either way, the idea of killing this Invoker, jumping someone and cleanly picking off a core. The Stampede is already an issue, the Pipe is a factor, now Mech's been completed on No-Tail, and this Lincoln's might just interrupt that one crucial disable that you need to actually kill off the Invoker.
I mean, on paper, they have both, you know, Frostbite as well as Burrow Strike, but Crystal Maiden is such a slow-moving hero, she's going to be on the back line most of the time. So this Lincoln is going to be true. Like, it's going to be blocking pretty much a Burrow Strike all the time. JerX takes up an Invis Rune, and again, scouts out the rotation from TNC.
I wonder if OG look to fight this. They do have some pretty good vision with that ward that was planted down mid. Still, TNC have not realized that it's in the mid lane. But OG, again, strategically, they have a clear game plan, it seems. We're going to let Ana keep on split pushing. We'll keep on farming. We'll get the double pipe or maybe the Ags on Centaur, as he is going to switch gears, S4, changing his mind as well. And once that Centaur gets an Ags, they already have so much sustain from the Necro. The Invoker can't really be jumped. Now he's back to BKB as well. OG a bit indecisive with their item choices here. But either way, once they get that next round of items... Oh no, okay, he actually already has the Lincoln Sphere complete, never mind.
I mean,
that.
You say they keep changing the items, but all those items do the same thing, right? They just want to tank up whether for themselves or for the whole team.
And they survive the initial combo, and
exactly.
then they take the fight.
They understand that once they survive the initial burst from TNC, that's it. Like, there's no TNC. Like, they're so reliant on that Sonic Wave and perhaps even the freezing field to win a team fight for TNC.
They want to jump S4 here bottom. Tims is thinking about it, but that is a bridge too far. They're not going to commit. Meanwhile, OG ambitions towards the Roche pit. They are congregating. Ana's going to move into position. Reeves now up on No-Tail. More and more team fight. More and more 5-man starting to ramp up. The OG machine.
And No-Tail's so tanky. Reeves pipe, not something that we see too often out of Necrophals. They're more worried about, you know, killing people normally. Getting items like Hail, sometimes you see Dagon, sometimes you see Blink. This game, he understands that he's going to be in the front line. S4 is going to be playing the counter initiate. And No-Tail's doing a fine job so far.
When do TNC make their move? Do they make their move? Or do they just continue to farm and await for OG to come to them? The BKB is done on Raven. Again, still all combat items from TNC. Even Cuckoo going for the Yule Scepter here. It's something for these early skirmishes to deal with the Earth Spirit. As OG smoke up, but it was scouted. This could be an opportunity for TNC. No vision up that crucial hill. They're in position. Does JerX get caught for once? He's always gotten the jump.
The scan hits though.
But they know.
Yeah.
They will back away.
In fact, this is very smart. They smoke and they just wait. Wait for the Queen of Pain to farm that wave and then jump her.
Someone's going to come and farm it. Blinks in, gets off the scream, and now they try to pounce. They stream in. S4 looking for the stun, but the BKB dodge. Now the Eclipse, now the back as well. Chain Cross bouncing through. They're on the chase. Tim hits Pater with the 2-hero burrow. They pound forward. They haven't killed anyone
They're
yet.
so tanky.
Alive. The Quaffle only hits No-Tail with Ghost Shrouds it up. Still they keep on working on him. They may yet bring him down. Commitment from TNC. They do get the Necro. Now they want the second kill. Ana looking for the turn. Tims is their lone stun. He needs to stay alive here. He's almost dead. 5 chases, but perhaps too deep. Cuckoo can almost bring him down. Shadow Strike, auto attack, gets the second kill of the fight. Now the turn. Cuckoo has the Yules. He has the blink. He makes it away. And the Yules comes through, and he will end up going down here.
They're going to chase for more.
Back the other way. They've blown everything, Lumi, the Eclipse, the BKB, but they fight at the shrine. They may die at the shrine. Back as well. Now the Deathly Blast. Cuckoo diving back in, looking for S4. The Magnetize wasn't enough. S4's overextended. They fought uphill into an enemy shrine. That is a classic strategic error, and they will get punished for it fallen. Ana looking for the salvage. Not going to happen.
Huge team fight, back and forth, but I think that was just a 4-for-4, right? Including a buyback as well. You could argue pretty even, but the fact that TNC had to buy back on the Queen of Pain is going to stop her next round of items. I think ultimately an OG victory TNC cannot get any objective off of that engagement. No Roche, no tier 1 tower on the mid lane.
Is under attack.
Good BKB usage from the Luna, but despite of that, you know, did end up going down.
If nothing else for TNC, I think it probably is a little reassurance that they're not out of the game yet. They can still win these fights with good execution. OG are not so far ahead that they can't take them down.
Yes or no, right? Like, if OG did not chase up a shrine, I think OG would just flat out win that.
Yeah, but also the quad bolt hit one. You know, there's a lot of things on both sides that could have gone better.
Yeah, and of course the Centaur initiation was blocked by the quick BKB usage. So yeah, you know, a lot of things could have gone better for OG. OG taking advantage of the fact that they have very low cooldown ultimates goes right into the shrine. Roshan.
I don't see TNC contestants.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same combo that Team Secret ran yesterday on the game that they lost. Queen of Pain ult as well as Luna ult. Very long cooldown, you lose that one fight. Other team says, all right, we go into Roche.
Even if you win that one fight, they might just go into Roche anyway.
Exactly. That's exactly what Liquid did yesterday, so.
Dire's middle tower.
So TNC now, they'll be up against an Aegis. No-Tail already very tanky as the Necrophos we saw took a days, it felt like, to kill him. And now they cannot easily bring down Ana. They may try. Cuckoo blinking in. Ana there, lobs out the tornado, but 4 of his teammates are top, so tries to force Cuckoo back on his heels with the meteor raining down. Tims could do not, but watch the fireworks.
I think the danger for TNC moving forward is that with the items that they're now buying, it doesn't increase their damage output. Like Cuckoo's working for a BKB, Luna's trying to finish their Manta style. Blink forward here, Jirac finds the stun, Crystal Maiden gonna get silenced. Nice Glimmer Cape, dodges away, but Stampede's gonna allow them chase her even further. I think the CM is gonna go down.
Eventually perhaps, but not before getting a little bit of a retaliation blow as though the Chain Thrust was committed. A little damage from 1437, but nonetheless he will fall.
Yep.
And OG certainly in control now as they push through mid. Ana out in front is gonna gank this tower from the rear, and with the tower dropping, you do wonder, do OG even consider a high ground assault? All ults are up.
They have the Aegis still, so they can poke at
have
it.
the Aegis.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, I think it's perhaps the safest play is to wait for S4's Aghanim Scepter. He's only 600 gold away, but with the Aegis, they feel confident enough. And look at how much damage they're doing to the tier 3.
Look for the miracle back. They need that big combo. TNC biding their time, waiting for the opening here, but the Sand King's get caught out. He is the +1 to that initiation, and he is down. OG
Now, I think you could just hit the building.
easily picking him up. They got a ward on the high ground to set that all up. No buyback on the Sand King. Out for a minute. They might get more than that, Lumi. Here comes the back, but where's the follow-up? They need a burrow. They need an epi. They don't have it. Instead, they might lose 1437 again. Glimmer Cape to try and keep them alive. They're going to tap the shrine. Fight for all they can. Eclipse is there from Raven. Will meet the Earth Spirit. Force him on his heels, but the melee has fallen. OG can get out and be content with that. Sunstrike having an additional fish will roast Raven. Force him on his heels. So OG, they get what they came for. They take the melee. They are one step closer to a Game 1 victory.
TNC's itemization are
Is under attack.
critical. These BKBs are very important. Unfortunately, these BKBs are also not winning them the fights. Now they're going to chase for a little bit more. Ana goes right into Viz after taking down the shrine. He gets out. And, you know, as I keep speaking about TNC lacking damage, there's still more from OG to go in terms of tanking items. That Aghanim Scepter is finished on Centaur, so 40% damage reduction during the Stampede. I just don't think they could kill OG anymore.
OG have to screw up. That's basically how it feels now. That they need to waste the Stampede, maybe blow the pipe, someone gets caught out of position, but in a true 5v5, I almost feel even if TNC hit the 5-hero vacuum, Epi, Puro, Quaffle, Eclipse, CM ult, it might not even be enough as long as Centaur presses his ult
and there's a pipe
they pop
going off.
the pipe and the Greaves.
Yep.
Not to mention, at least right now, you have to worry about the Sages. And that's a big assumption, right? Because OG don't have to have all 5 out in front like that. They can easily sit back and siege safely behind the Necro, behind the Invoker Forge Spirit.
They have been doing exactly that, you know, even though that there's a Aegis on the Invoker, they feel that No-Tail is tanky enough to send in front. Now he has a Yules to be used defensively for himself. Now we're going to see perhaps the last hurrah from TNC. They need a perfect combo.
This is what dreams are made of for TNC. Here comes the back. Here comes the burrow. Look for the follow-up from Cuckoo. The ult's cooling down, though. He doesn't have the Sonic Wave. They need to get these kills quickly. and out goes the Reaper's Sight. Not quite enough damage yet. Only the Lich has fallen to CM the trade. TNC commits so much, but they didn't have the extra spells required. The Eclipse also 15 seconds off cooldown. It could have been amazing, Lumi, but they just didn't have the icing for that cake.
I think TNC is maybe on tilt is probably not the right word, but just feeling immense pressure right now. Remember that smoking into the enemy jungle where they chase deep for Jerax? Just like small things where timings are just a little bit off. And that might have been the game. Now, I mean, you have your ult again, but no wall. They still have the vacuum burrow strike combo, and this needs to strike true.
But now OG will know it's coming. They can be prepared for it with their positioning. You can see the Centaur's off in mid, so almost assuredly he should be able to get off that Stampede. The fight starts while it's still on cooldown, but it starts with OG out in front. The back is there to counter.
Sanking's dead,
But no burrow strike follow-up. 45 seconds on the sideline. The fight rages on. TNC desperately trying to hold the line, but it's too late. Ana has taken the melee mid, chewing through Sam H, forcing him on his heels. One melee to go, and then OG will be in pole position to finish off this first game. And it feels almost a guarantee that they will get it. The range now being plinked down. No Tail landing the assist. OG streaming in, rotating towards bottom. They want their vengeance for last year, and they're going to get one step closer if they can close this out. Cuckoo, Sunstrike coming through, forces him back. The Eclipse committed, but casual Stampede, they'll back him back in. S4, he doesn't care about your clips. He doesn't care about your vacuums. He still gets out.
That was an Eclipse use and a Stampede, and they're 4 HP. Now the second half of the fight now breaks out. Reaper's Sight will get BKB. Nice activation by Cuckoo. Raven, the front line, he doesn't have the BKB. Will get absolutely blown up. And now it's a route going the other direction. Buyback from the Luna. Crystal Maiden will quickly fall as well. OG stays as 5 strong, and TNC shattered as they run away.
5 heroes now converging on this Tier 3 in the bottom lane, looking for the third lane of Rax. The Stomp comes through, the Burrow to interrupt, but where's the follow-up? Where's the damage? They need it, and they just simply don't have it. They back in again. There's so much combo potential. The Quapple, it tickles. It does nothing more from Cuckoo, and now, as a roll and a smash forward occur, it spells his demise, it spells TNC's demise. Game 1 is OG's. Clinical. And I have to say, Lumi, Jerax, an incredible showing. Broke the smoke gank at level 1. He interrupted multiple other smoke ganks that game. The silence that prevented the Quap from getting the follow-up Sonic Wave in that early fight behind the Tier 1 top. So many fights just never got off the ground. As OG, they walk out, they feel good, but they know it is a best of 3, and this one ain't over yet.
Yeah, I know the crowd was cheering for the Earth Spirit as